get. So Secretary Collins was in Michigan, in Howell, Michigan, right in the center of my state, just in the past 10 days. That is a place, a county that has a tremendous number of veterans and a tremendous number of veteran service organizations. Just a really incredible county for supporting our veterans. And he was asked the direct question, like, okay, hey, you fired 2,400 people, but what about this leaked memo we heard about firing 70 to 80,000 people? Where do you stand on that? That can't be right. And he doubled down. He said, we're not going to lose any care. In fact, we're going to improve veteran health care, but we're going to cut 70 to 80,000 people. I just don't understand how the math on that works. I don't think anyone in that room understood how the math on that works, unless this is some big move to privatize the VA, something my Republican colleagues have wanted for a very long time. And I will tell you, I feel very strongly, as someone who has served in combat zones alongside the military, that there are some things that this nation should do, not through private contractors, not through private health insurance, not through whatever, but as a mission of the government, because when you volunteer to put yourself in harm's way, you make a commitment to the nation. So we should make that commitment back to you. So we are waiting to see what happens. And unfortunately, we are seeing the veterans on the ground in our states come forward and again come back into the fray, come back into the fight, come to town halls, ask tough questions. Again, these aren't political people. These aren't elected officials. These are people saying, hey, I fought 3 tours in Iraq or in Afghanistan, and now you're telling me there's not going to be anyone answering the phone at the suicide hotline or at the claims department. We're going to cut research. We're going to cut all these things. What are you doing to my care? Answer for that. So I think we have to be aware of what is happening, and we have to hear the voices of our veterans as they're saying these things to me. I happen to be up at the Veterans Hospital up in Iron Mountain, Michigan, the UP of Michigan, the Upper Peninsula. It serves the entire Upper Peninsula, huge swath of territory. It serves a ton in Wisconsin and even into Minnesota. It's the only VA hospital around. And when I went there, the director of the hospital is walking us around, and he's saying, like, right now we're all right. But he has no idea what's on the horizon. He can't say for sure what's on the horizon. That kind of instability, that inability to plan, he wants to open a new specialty wing so that veterans can get specialized care when they come in. Should he open it? Should he not open it? Should he move forward? He doesn't know. So it's just creating an uncertainty around our medical centers, which are in some cases the only hospital around for 400, 500, 600 miles for our veterans to access. Now, the other thing that I'm completely concerned about is access to veteran data. What we're seeing through DOGE is a bunch of 20, 22-year-olds going into these departments and agencies, going over the heads of the cabinet officials, saying, we know that you were just confirmed by the Senate, but we don't care what you think. We're coming in. We're going to take all your programs, put them through a meat grinder with artificial intelligence to sort of look at key words and key things, and we're going to make decisions coming in over your head. And by the way, in some cases, we're going to bring in our own servers, literally carrying in servers, plunking them down in the agency, piping in all the plugs and getting all that data. We've already seen them at the Treasury get access to taxpayer data. We've already seen them through Medicare get access to healthcare information. Now I'm concerned, what are they going to do with veterans information, with active duty uniform military information, base information, spouse information? I think most Americans agree we don't want our data floating around on random servers that aren't protected from the national security threats that we know are after our data. Data is the future. Having data and huge amounts of data is absolutely essential for our foreign adversaries, for bad guys all over the world. They want that. Not to mention private sector companies, right? It's hard to miss that Mr. Musk and the Silicon Valley set that are now so close and doing the bidding of President Trump are deeply interested in that data. They can monetize that data and use that data to understand how to target you, what algorithms to use for you. So I've asked Secretary Collins and everyone else coming up here for confirmation, please affirm for me you will protect our veterans' data. They don't want it sold. They don't want it used. And I've gotten no assurances. They will not provide fitting assurances, or they provide assurances the way the Secretary of the Treasury did, Secretary Bessent came in for his confirmation hearing. He said, of course I won't let people get access to taxpayer data. And literally that week, DOJ got access to taxpayer data. So we now have a situation where even taking the word of the Secretary of the VA is hard to do given what's been going on in other departments and agencies.